Welcome to the web series, The Hero's Call, where champions of safety and justice in the community are profiled. The series is co-hosted by attorney Mark Diller and his colleague, Dr. John Naranja. Dr. John is both an attorney and a doctor.
Our most vulnerable population right now is the elderly. They're afraid to leave their homes. But what happens when their homes are unsafe? One local hero, a Woburn electrician, formed Gloria's Gladiators to help elderly in need of a safer place to live. Today, we welcome John Kinney to the Hero's Call. Hey, John, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, John, can you do us a favor and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from and what you do?
My name's John Kinney. I grew up in Cambridge, Mass. I'm living in Woburn for the last 10 years, and I'm a licensed electrician, and I'm the owner of Kinney Electric.
Can you share with us, who is Gloria from Gloria's Gladiators?
So Gloria is a woman, Gloria Scott, that lives in Woburn, and I met her about a month ago when she called me because some sparks were shooting out of her light fixture.
And so what happened? Did you go over to help out Gloria when her sparks were shooting out of the light fixture?
Yeah, so I went over to help her out, and the lights were in real bad shape. We got them working. The insulation was burnt real bad on it. We ran some new wires, got the lights on, and that's when I saw that there was a lot of other repairs in the house that could be done.
What do you mean by a lot of other repairs? Describe for us what it was like.
Well, her kitchen faucet was broken, so that it just spewed nonstop stream of boiling hot water. So because of that, she shut off the water main in the basement, and basically that killed all the water pressure. So she'd use the bathroom for a few days and then go down, turn the main water on to flush the toilet. So she was in there basically without running water. There was holes in the ceilings. She told me that the critters were getting in. She had raccoons in the attic. So, I mean, the electrical was in bad shape. The plumbing was in real bad shape. The wallpaper was falling down. The holes in the ceiling, critters getting in. Porch steps were crumbling. The roof was caving in. And then there was basically a jungle surrounding her whole house.
So when you addressed these issues with Gloria, what did she say?
She just told me, she goes, I have no money to pay for any of that.
What did you do at that point?
At that point, I told her, I said, listen, I'm here. Like, if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I only live 5 minutes away. I just kept trying to tell her that I'm here and she didn't have to deal with all of the crap by herself,
Was it safe for Gloria to be living in those conditions?
No, it was definitely not safe for her. She had no lights. The plumbing was done. The porch was hazardous. It definitely wasn't safe condition for her.
So at some point in time, you went back to help Gloria?
Yeah, so I think I saw her on that Friday, and then our meeting kind of stuck with me over the weekend, and I knew I had to get back in there. So that Monday, I just came by. I knocked on the door, and I told her, like, hey, me and some of my friends will come in. We're gonna do a little yard work. Is that okay? And she agreed to it. And that I got like 12 volunteers together that first day, and we just did a bunch of yard work for her and cleaning in the kitchen.
Did work continue after that?
So yeah, so that one day we did a lot. Just those 12 volunteers, we did a ton of work. But when I went there for that, that's when I found the back porch and I saw that was collapsed in. I saw that there was holes up in the fascia boards where the animals were getting in. So we did a lot and it was great, but there was more to be done. And I let everybody know it was, I was happy for all the help, but it just wasn't enough. And at that point, I created the fundraiser to raise some funds to start, helping out.
When you went back to Gloria's house that first day, was she expecting you?
No.
And how did she respond when she saw you coming in with a group of volunteers?
Well, I came by myself and I told her that I was planning on getting a group of volunteers, and she was hesitant, but again, I looked in her eyes. I told her I was here to help. I wanted to help. And she agreed to let me come back with my friends.
So the original 12 that you had, were those the original Gladiators of Gloria's Gladiators?
So that was before Gloria's Gladiators. That was just me just trying to help out an old lady that needs some help.
when you wanted to go beyond the 12 volunteers you had, I understand that you went to Facebook. Tell me about that.
So yeah, so you know, on Facebook you can create a fundraiser through it. I had never done anything like that before, but basically I created the fundraiser. I think I was trying to raise a couple $1,000 to repair her kitchen sink, the kitchen ceiling, and the toilet.
What was the headline that you used for your fundraiser?
It was nice and simple. Nice old lady needs help.
That's great. How did that go over when you started that fundraiser?
Well, it was crazy when I first started. I remember we went camping for that weekend, and I said, "Oh wow!" Like it was up $300, $500, and I remember telling my mom and my dad, I said, "Wow, this is gonna be great. We're gonna be able to repair this lady's kitchen ceiling," and it just took off from there.
Was the post only for friends, or did it go out to the public? How did you get such a response?
So the original time before the fundraiser, when I brought out the volunteers, I recorded everything and I made like a video of what we were dealing with, and I showed everybody how this lady was living. I put up some pictures, and people shared it. They shared the pictures, and the story just kept growing and growing.
So those particular videos, and they essentially went viral, and is that how things kind of grew from there?
Yeah, that first video, last time I checked it, and it was like 12,000 views or something, and it was shared hundreds of times. And you know, I just kept putting the videos up, putting the pictures, and it like created a following, it created a movement. People from all over the world started to take notice. It was incredible.
Now, John, I've been to your Facebook page for Gloria's Gladiators, and if you don't mind, I want to read one of the comments that I saw there, and I just kind of want to get your reaction. So it says, "John, you and everyone else are angels. God bless you all. Every time I see one or more of these postings, it brings happy tears to my eyes, knowing that there are so many good people in this world, willing to go and help others in need and ask for nothing in return. With all that has been going on in this world today, we really need people like this." How does that make you feel, John?
That stuff like that, it brings happy tears to my eyes, you know, and to be able to inspire some goodness, it's, you know, it's a really good feeling.
Now, John, I understand that also CBS News did something with you. Can you describe what went on with that?
Yeah, so like channel 4, 5, and 7 picked it up, but CBS came down here with Steve Hartman, and we went on the Steve Hartman show, and he came out, he met Gloria, and we did a nice interview, and after that, you know, that's when things really started taking off.
How did they find out about it?
Geez, I guess the following grew on Facebook, and as people kept sharing, I think people were like contacting the news stations, and then they reached out to me. It all happened so fast. It was amazing.
What were your observations of Gloria when she started getting all this attention?
So I've been here every day and just kind of guiding her through it. But, you know, it's a complete 180, a whole turnaround from the woman I first met. She's just like, there's an army behind her, an army of gladiators, and she's just very happy. It's been nice to see her coming out of her shell.
When did the term gladiators come about?
You know, my brother Danny actually coined that phrase. You know, we were talking about what we were doing. We said, you know, we're fighting for people like this that can't fight for themselves. And he said, yeah, we're Glorious Gladiators. And I said, you know, that's great. I like the sound of that. And that's who we are. We're Glorious Gladiators.
That's awesome. So, John, what are we looking at here?
So that's the back porch of Gloria's, that basically the floor and the roof collapsed in on itself, and we started working on it. And, you know, the last time somebody was out there was like 10 years before that. So this is a picture of me and my brother Danny standing in that porch. You know, it was raining out. We had a tarp over the roof, and we're just determined to rebuild that.
How much time has that been since you started working on this porch?
So it was probably like a week or two after we started this work that we started the porch work.
And is that kind of been work that's been done on a daily basis?
Yeah, we've been here every day. So, you know, for the porch, we had to pour new concrete footings. We had to basically rent a dumpster to haul out all the old debris and then start from scratch and rebuild the whole thing, go get the lumber, go get the windows. So we've been doing that at the same time as the inside's getting rewired, the plumbing's getting updated. So there's a bunch of projects going on simultaneously. That's Gloria Scott herself enjoying her new rocking chairs. I forget the woman that put those together and got them ordered, but Gloria loves them. And when the porch is all set, they're going to look so wonderful out there.
Also, these rocking chairs were donated to place on the porch for later?
Yeah. Somebody ordered these specifically for Gloria, put them together, and then she drove down here and delivered them in person and met Gloria and hung out with her for a couple hours.
What was Gloria's reaction when she saw the rocking chairs?
Oh, she absolutely loved them. I think she rocked in that chair for like a good hour.
And then what about the house? What are we looking at the house, and what stage are we in terms of the rebuild?
So that's, where I think we had a lot of painting going on that day. You can see the dumpster was out there. So yeah, I think that was the day when a lot of the painters were there. We're doing a lot of painting.
And has the yard been cleared out at this point in time? Or was that how the yard was?
So that's we're looking at the front yard right there. So sod hasn't been put out there yet, but it's gonna. But the complete backyard on both sides of the house and the backyard was just like trees overgrown. So it was extensive yard work.
And once again, this was all through volunteer work in terms of getting this set up. Is that right?
Yeah, like we had a tree service come in there and professionally cut down the trees, landscapers, and then like a lot of the volunteers for the raking and packaging up the materials.
John, tell us what we're looking at here.
Oh, that's me and a bunch of gladiators getting ready to eat some. Looks like that was burgers that day. Yeah, I remember that day. That was the neighbor that lives across the street. It was a slow day. He said, "Hey, who wants burgers?" Cooked us up a bunch of burgers, brought them over, and we're just getting ready to chow down.
Now, John, I understand that it wasn't just the neighbors bringing food. There were a lot of people who were donating things to help in terms of you guys working.
Yeah, there's a local restaurant in Woburn, Tremezzo's. That whole family's been just tremendous. They've been dropping off food to us. The owner of Harrow's Chicken Pies came down here, dropped off a ton of frozen chicken pies to me and Gloria. Local restaurants. There's a ton of nice old ladies that are baking cookies for us and dropping off baked goods. A nonstop delivery system of ice, water, Gatorades. It's a nonstop. We're eating really good over here.
John, tell me about this.
So I think that's the fundraiser page, and that you're looking at a picture of Gloria's house, like one of the first times we came over. So you can see like the growth all around the house and how bad the paint was. And I think if you zoom in, you can see the brick stairs that were crumbling apart.
And then it says there, the goal. Can you review that part of it for us?
Yeah, so it's the goal. It was $100,000 goal, and it's at $101,619. It's amazing.
And it says still 9 days left, and you surpassed your goal.
Yeah, it's a miracle every day. Like I said, it's a miracle every day over here. John,
what are we looking at here?
So that was a Gloria Gladiator t-shirt I designed, and it was just that was part of a separate fundraiser. So Gloria owed a little bit of money in back taxes, and basically I set that up. I think we raised over $6,000, and a check gets made and mailed directly to Gloria for $6,000. And then we actually sold a bunch of physical shirts in front of the house, and I think she was up at over $1,000 in physical shirt sales too.
So, John, tell us, where are you filming here today?
I'm standing inside a pod unit in front of the house right now because it's the only quiet spot on the site.
We just saw all that money that you've raised in donations, over $100,000. What's the money being used for?
So basically the money's being used for, we got a lot of help done by the volunteers, but that only gets us so far. So we still got to hire professionals to do a lot of work. We're hiring landscapers, we're hiring the plumbers. I'm doing upgrading the whole complete electrical system. So a lot of that money's going to material, paying the professional contractors, and yeah, like we're getting a new roof. We got some of the material donated for that, but we still got paid thousands for that. So it's things add up, you know. It sounds like a lot, but for the, you know, the scale of the renovation we're doing, it's not that much.
You keep mentioning the word volunteers. Where are these volunteers coming from?
All over the place. When I first started this, there was a family of volunteers that drove down from New Hampshire. Before it had a name, Gloria's Gladiators, before the fundraiser, that first day, like friends of mine drove down from New Hampshire to help out. So it's just people from all over.
Now, what's the future of Gloria's Gladiators, in your opinion?
I think if we can band together and get a good group of plumbers, electricians, carpenters, roofers that would say, hey, you know, we're willing to step forward, and if an elderly person can't afford this, we'll work together and form an organization that looks out for the elderly in need.
Have you actually seen some progress towards it picking up steam in other communities other than Woburn?
So we got that Facebook group page. It's over 6,000 members now. And I see people from other states that said, I think it was Tennessee, that said, hey, I need help. My mom's ceiling's falling in. Is anyone in this area that can help? And boom, 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 they started pinging. And just from being connected to the Gloria Gladiator group page, they're getting connected with the help they need. So already it's helping people. But there's still more work to be done. It's a work in progress. The roofers are coming tomorrow. We're getting a brand new roof installed. But it's just every day we're here, and, you know, we're just going to keep on going with it. You know, Gloria told me it was 50 degrees inside her house last year because there was no insulation. So we got a whole new blown-in insulation upstairs, all new sheetrock, plaster. And we're just trying to make it comfortable for her, give her a home back. You know, so that she's safe and comfortable.
Listen, John, on behalf of myself and our team here at the Heroes Call, we so appreciate everything that you've been doing to pay it forward and to help out the community. We know now more than ever, there's so many people in the elderly community who are really at need and living in unsafe conditions, and they feel as if they can't go anywhere. So it's really wonderful to see that you step up and get a whole group of volunteers behind you. So thank you for everything that you've been doing. You inspire a lot of people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John.